Hey everybody, and welcome to the lounge. I'm Tom, and we're going to be doing the Q&A. If you follow me on Twitter, you know about this. If not, you should probably get to that. Yeah. So today's St. Patrick's Day. I've got my green on, as I, usually do, because green's my favorite color, so what are you going to do? So, we're just going to dive right into the questions. So first up, we're going to start with what I kind of consider to be like frequently asked questions. People who, either multiple people ask me this, or I've gotten this question a lot of times before. And I've got my laptop off to the side, so if you see me looking over to the side, it's because that's where all my questions are written. I didn't memorize them all beforehand, because that's crazy. So, we're going to get right into that. So, first question from Joshua Davies is, how old are you? 20. Almost 21, but not quite. From Kyle Evans, how tall are you? Round about 5'10". Taller than my dad and Jesse, so hey. Josh Perkins, what's your favorite video game? Oh boy. This is one that I get all the time, so let's just finally put this one to rest. It's really hard to pick one single video game to be my favorite out of all of them that I've played and that exist. So I divided them up into categories. First off, favorite series. Favorite series is going to be Legend of Zelda, and my favorite out of the Legend of Zelda series would be Twilight Princess, such as the HD remake that came out, which is pretty dang cool, but I digress. So that's my favorite series. My most replayed game, that is the game that I have played from start to finish the most out of all of them that I have, would be Pikmin 2. And as for recent games that I have really, really liked, Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain. For multiplayer, I know this has been out for a little while, but for multiplayer, my favorite game would be Rocket League, for the moment anyway. Hours spent in it, TF2, which I'm sure all of you know. Even though I'm kind of out of the TF2 kick at the moment, but we'll see how that lasts. And, let's see, for like a single solo player game besides Phantom Pain, another one that I really like is Undertale. Those are just ones that come to the top of my mind that I have really liked from the more recent times and that are also on PC. So hopefully that'll be laid to rest, and there you go. Favorite games. Luigi Dude 5678. Have you thought of making your own individual YouTube channel? I get this one a lot as well. And for the moment, no. I don't really have any plans to make my own YouTube channel, mainly because I'm still dealing with college, and there's the whole I'm working with this channel thing. Both of those added up to, like, maintain my own channel, I wouldn't have any free time, like, at all. And even then, I'd probably get way behind on something, and it just wouldn't go good at all. So, no. I have thought of making one, but I do not have plans to make one right now. Maybe in the future. Maybe. Maybe. But for now, no. From GD Aragani, where did the name An Unmatched Sock come from? Well, it's not even that funny of a story, really. It's hardly a story, even. I pretty much just try to make a name based on, like, in first-person shooters, where the kill feed is always, like, person was killed by other person, and there would be like, they have a name like, let's say the person was like X-Dude43. X-Dude43 was killed by like 5,000 seagulls. Kind of like that, except I decided to go with just one singular thing, An Unmatched Sock. So it worked for, I made it specifically for TF2 since it works in that format. X was killed by an unmatched sock. So it's like, whoa, the dude was killed by one sock? What the heck was wrong with him? And the name just sort of stuck, and I kept it ever since, and I've had it for quite a long time. From Lexi Delecta, what is your favorite food? Again, that's a difficult question to answer because there's so many foods that I like, and I try not to play favorites when it comes to food, simply because that way it's like, oh, well, this one's my favorite, gotta have it all the time. Like, the thing that you all know that is my favorite food would be mac and cheese. Yes, I do like mac and cheese a lot, and I do eat it a lot, but that's mainly because it's a really easy meal and it's very filling, as opposed to other things such as like just sandwiches, in which it either has to be like a really loaded sandwich, which is maybe just a bit too much effort, depending on how I feel that day. Like really good, really filling sandwiches, they're just not that common that I make. Mac and cheese is a lot easier, at least to me. Think what you want about that, whatever. But, Favorite food. Seafoods, I'm really into chocolate. Pasta is, just in general, one of my favorites though, so there you go. From Benjamin Stevenson, what are you going to college for? Computer science. Not entirely sure what I want to do with it, but I'll figure that out by the time I'm done with it. I'm thinking maybe something with cybersecurity and stuff like that. From Stephen Huang, who's your favorite Smash fighter? Again, see, it's difficult because I don't play like one singular favorite. I always have like multiple ones that I really, really like. So I guess going along that trail, let's see. Smash fighters that I really like. Corrin from the DLC. Cloud's alright. Really like Ganondorf. He's pretty dang good. Marth, I've been getting kind of good with him, although I've kind of not been playing Smash recently. Jigglypuff is fun. Luigi can be pretty good. Little Mac if I'm not going too competitive. Those are all the ones that really come to mind. From Scotty, what software do you use to edit videos for the lounge? I use Adobe Premiere Elements 13. Mainly because I've worked with Adobe Premiere Elements before, and I like it, so I stuck with it. From Adele Elkutab, I'm just gonna say now, I apologize if I mess up the pronunciations of any of your names. That's my fault, so please put up with it. Because otherwise, I won't know. Anyway. What's your relationship with Jesse besides being cousins? It seems like you two don't get along well that much. Okay. So, there's some sort of misconception that I don't like Jesse. You're wrong. Blunt and simple, you're wrong. I've never disliked Jesse. I've never hated him. We get along well. It was circumstantial when it happened. And I'm just gonna leave it at that. It was circumstantial, and that was during a stressful time. I was still in the whole engineering thing, and boy, that was stressful. And I'm a lot happier now that I switched to computer science. But yeah, there's no bad blood between me and Jesse. Everything is a-okay. We get along. I'm just awkward. All right, that's the thing. That pretty much ends the FAQ right there, so now we're going to go on to other questions you guys have asked. First off has to do with videos and just stuff regarding my dad. As you all know him as Uncle Larry. Which I'm just going to say now, it feels weird to call my dad by his first name in any sort of way. So, first off, we got from Ghost Games, will you be in a challenge video? If one catches my interest, maybe. I don't know. Challenges aren't really my thing. So, don't expect it, but don't completely disregard it. I'll say that. And again, I apologize for any mispronunciations, Jesse Ignaskowitz, do you plan on going to VidCon with Jesse, Corrin, and your dad? Plain and simple, no. I might be taking a summer course, and that could interfere with it, so I'm just not going to have to deal with that. And I don't know what summer course I might take, but point is that I might take one, so we're gonna go with that. From Caleb Christ, how is it having to edit all those videos for Larry? Well, if I didn't do it, nobody would. No, it's not bad at all, and it's honestly kind of fun. It's also pretty easy. The edits aren't that, like, too in-depth until skits come around, which that's a whole nother story. It's still fun. It could just get stressful, though. Next up, Kool-Aid from Houston, Texas. What is your favorite dish from Chillin' and Grillin'? That's another difficult one, and although there's a lot less of a selection, there's only about 40 of them. Crab bisque was really good. That London broil from way back when, that was also really good. Let's see, the penne pasta was also good, but, you know, I'm predispositioned towards pasta. There's quite a few that I like a lot. I don't know if I have any one particular favorite. Chicken pot pie is also one that stands out. I don't really have a particular single favorite, so Sorry. From She Came Undone. What is your favorite memory of you and your dad? Wow. You know, I mean, like, a few of them come to mind when I, like, think back on things, like fishing out at a nearby lake at a park. I gotta say the one that stands out a lot would probably be one of the first times that I beat him in Mario Kart Double Dash, because it took me a long time to finally get good at it, and he would always beat me. It was always by, like, not that large of a margin either. It's like when I finally got just a few points on edge on him and I just won, it just felt so... It was an accomplishment. It was really an accomplishment that day when I... And then things just started getting where I couldn't not win against him, which kind of ruined that a little bit, but, yeah, that's a really good memory. I'm sure that there are more that are also really, like, standout memories. They're just not coming to me at the moment. Probably because I'm in relaxation mode and not thinking about much. Spring break, woo! So we're just gonna move on. So next up, from Marlon Daniel Colho, what are your thoughts when your dad decided to become a YouTube, and why didn't you participate in the 500k subs video? To address them in order, I was really surprised when Dad had said that he wanted to start his own YouTube channel, because I honestly was kicking around the idea a little bit. But I didn't know if I would actually go through with it. If I would, then things would probably be a lot different now, but when Dad decided he wanted to make the channel, I knew that we were going to be in for, as the title of the Aladdin song goes, a whole new world. Like, he would be exposed to it, and I would have to help him with it all the time, really. And I wouldn't change that for anything, honestly. As for the second question, why didn't I participate in the 500k subs video? He filmed that while I was asleep. So, yeah. He filmed that while I was asleep. I woke up, he was like, hey, it's filmed, could you edit it? I was like, sure. Because, you know, I'm still half asleep. Because that's how I am. That's how college students are. We don't like to be woken up. For that matter, we don't like to wake up. Next up is, again, from Caleb Christ. How long does it take to edit one video? Kind of going off of his last question. And that greatly varies. For our normal weekly videos, they don't take very long to edit because they're not very much edit. It's usually just a little bit at the beginning and a little bit at the end, depending on how they're filmed. Like Challenge and Grillin', since it's a lot of different takes, like the beginning and end of each one has to be edited. See, when it comes to, like, things like Scary Safety Guy, it's like, that was only a minute and a half, but that's still, I need to get that done by the end of the day, because that was when it was supposed to go up. So it took me a solid 7-8 hours just to get that all edited and completely done with. So skits take a lot longer to edit, because they have a lot more perfection that needs to go into it, a lot more other edits that just need to go into it in general. Whereas other videos, like challenge videos, Chillin' and Grillin', those don't take nearly as long. The most time with them, like I said, is just waiting. Alright, so those are the questions related to videos and stuff like that. Next topic. So, from Brianna Hardman. Are you going to get a girlfriend someday? I'd like that, yes. Yes. I sincerely hope so, yes. As a follow-up, Matthew Pylon. Have you ever had a girlfriend? I tried in high school. I didn't know how to go about it, so they didn't really go anywhere. Like, I look back on it, it's like, only one of those would have really worked out, honestly. Like, in a long run sort of thing, but she moved away and during the summer and told literally no one for 2 years. So yes, I tried, didn't get very far at all. And, hopefully I can fix that soon. From Kimberly Merlino, what traits do you look for in a GF? Well, some things that'll probably be expected to be reciprocated, you know, like kindness, honesty, stuff like that. You know, I guess, like, usual things guys look for in a girl. I mean, one that's smart, obviously, you know, like that. I don't really have any specific description besides willingness to put up with any of my quirks. And pretty much what I already listed. From FMD SMV 993. Nice rhyming scheme you got there. What do I do? My BF cheated on me. I want to break up with him in style. I don't know why you're looking to me for relationship advice. I can hardly get into a relationship and you want me to help you get out of one. But seriously, just tell him, yo, like, don't, like, quote me verbatim, but just be like, yo, bro, that's really, really not cool, and that's not gonna fly for this relationship, so we're not gonna have to be together anymore. Like, don't quote that verbatim, but that's basically what you're gonna want to say. I mean, just be honest with them. And, on that note, for anyone really, don't cheat on your significant other. That's not cool. That's just not cool. All these questions reminding me that it's just like, hey, relationshiply inept, lonely. Anyway, moving on to brighter subjects. In this case, it'd be more about video games. Hooray! So first off, we got from Mexi. What was your first video game? Whew. See, we had quite a few when I was a young boy. What? The first ones that I have memories of actually playing, Super Mario World, Ocarina of Time, let's see, Mario World, Ocarina of Time, Super Mario All-Stars, which had like the first 3 Marios on it. Actually, I think ours also had Mario World on it. Regardless, Donkey Kong Country, all 3 of those. Like, the bigger SNES titles. We never had Link to the Past when I was growing up, though, which is kind of a shame. I would have loved to play it, but we didn't have it, so I didn't play it. Paper Mario, that's another one. There's no, like, RPGs that I really remember, besides, like, Super Mario RPG, and that's, I never had that either. But, regardless, those are the games I can remember playing when I was young the most. They may not be the first, but they're close enough. From Bert, what's your favorite thing to do besides video games? Since it's related, I decided to put it in this section. Favorite thing to do besides video games? Hanging out with friends when it doesn't involve playing video games. I know a group online that I do partake in Pathfinder Warhammer 40k RPs with, like RPGs, like tabletop RPGs, such as. What else do I? Well, there's obviously the whole videos thing. I mean, if I didn't like doing it, I wouldn't be here in front of the camera in front of you guys. Let's see. There's not really much else that I would consider to be a favorite thing to do besides video games. From Zebulon West Potts. Do you play any MMOs? I do not at the moment. I used to play RuneScape when I was in grade school. Like, I'm talking elementary, 1st through 4th grade, and somewhat through middle school, and I just sort of stopped before I got to high school, which probably for the best, honestly. But no, besides those, I don't really play any MMOs. I mean, there's obviously, like, online games that I play, but not, like, massive multiplayer. From Juliana. Hey, Tom, have you ever played Undertale? As I said previously, yes, I have played Undertale. I think it's a fantastic game. Really good music. And just so many elements that were just done right for a story. Like, it's really more the story than the gameplay, and Toby Fox did it right. Like, he did it right. There's no other real way to say it. And, from Matt. What would you say is your favorite boss from Ocarina of Time? Huh. I'm assuming barring Ganondorf, because, you know, final boss and all that. Let's see. Favorite boss from Ocarina of Time? I have to say, like, and probably almost purely for atmosphere and just, like, how the fight felt, I have to say Volvagia. Because, like, none of the first 3 really had that much of an impact on me. Phantom Ganon is basically the Ganondorf fight, so I don't really count that. And all the bosses after Volvagia, I don't really, you know, like, they don't really come to mind that easily. Like, they've got, like, little things that makes them unique, but Volvagia is kind of the best one for that, from Ocarina of Time, for me, anyway. So anyway, breaking away from video games, we've got other entertainment things. So first off, we got from Ghost Games. What are some of your favorite things to do during spring, summer? Stay inside and play video games. No. I do like to go swimming once in a while when it gets warm enough. I actually enjoy walking around up on campus more when it's spring because, you know, I'm not all bundled up and it gets really windy on campus, which that's not fun. I don't like wind on campus. It's cold. I mean, a nice chill breeze when it's already warm out, that's one thing. From Keegan, what is your favorite show on Netflix? Or if you don't watch Netflix, what's your favorite show in general and why? Well, let's see. I don't really tend to watch TV or shows just in general, although I have recently, like my friends will just get us all together and just have us watch just some random movies that we decide we haven't seen and want to see, or just some shows. So 2 shows that I've been watching recently. Better Call Saul, which is kind of unfortunate that I never got into Breaking Bad when it originally came out, because that's a lot I'd have to catch up on. Considering I've only ever seen like the first couple episodes of Breaking Bad, so yeah. And I know Better Call Saul takes place in the same like universe, sort of, I think. I might be wrong on that actually in retrospect, but I'm hoping I'm not. But yeah, Better Call Saul and Rick and Morty would be the 2 shows that I have been watching the most recently. Speaking of things that I watch, though, from Mike, what is your favorite mecha anime or anime in general? I tend really not to watch much anime, but in fact the only 2 that I've really watched all of are Kill la Kill and One Punch Man. And of those, I'd have to say I like One Punch Man a little bit more. I very much like comedy and stuff that makes me laugh, so One Punch Man is perfect for that. I'd recommend it. Next up is from Linnea Baker. What kind of music do you like, and your favorite artist? When it comes to music, I'm just gonna say video game music is like one of my favorite things, so we're just gonna put that off to the side. That doesn't count. Let's see. I like 80s music, or when it comes to music that I like without lyrics, then I very much like the romantic period of classical music. And like orchestrations, I really love orchestra. And bonus points to music if it incorporates some sort of pipe organ or choir. Those are just my own personal music preferences, I guess, like instrument preferences. But I like. Other than that, 80s is what I really like. One of my favorite bands would be Styx, which I actually looked up before I started the Q&A, and I didn't even know they were founded in the 70s. And like one of my favorite songs of theirs, Come Sail Away, that was like 79, I think that was written. I don't remember the exact year, but I believe it was 79, and I just didn't know that. I didn't know that they were 70s, but yeah, 80s type music, Queen, Styx, Bowie's pretty good, that sort of thing. I like that. From Lisa, do you enjoy reading? If so, what is your fave genre, author, book? I like reading, I just haven't done it in a while. So, genre, I'd have to say, I like sci-fi. Although that kind of fits more for movies for me. Beyond that, when it comes to stories, general, like, fantasy type things are, I know I really like. Which is part of the reason why I like Zelda so much. Author, I don't know if, I don't particularly have a favorite author. And, honestly, when it comes to books, I can't even remember the last, like, I've read quite a few books, but there's not that many that I really come to mind when I try to think of, like, which one will be my favorite book that I've ever read. I really do need to read more. Now we get to kind of like real talk subjects. So, from J Money, what are your plans for 5 years from now? Plans for 5 years from now. Well, obviously out of college, get my degree. I don't know if I'd pursue any education higher than that. That's something I decide afterwards. Hopefully computer science will just completely stick and I won't have to deal with like trying to change anything else, because that is not going to be a fun time if that happens. But I really like computer science, so I don't see that changing. I don't really have much of a like career option of like this is like the company or like the specific field I want to get into, but whatever I do choose when I think about it more, hopefully that's what I get to stick with. Let's see, 5 years from now, what else? Hopefully, kind of hoping the channel stays enough of a like hobby, I guess. It's a little bit more than a hobby. It is more of a job, I guess. But regardless, hopefully it manages to stick and I'm still doing it. If not, maybe I'll have my own channel by then. Who knows? There's a lot that can change in 5 years. And hopefully at some point within the next 5 years, I'll have found a significant other for at least a short amount of time, if not an extended length of time. That would be nice. But beyond that, 5 years is a long time to plan. I know I saw somebody else that asked me like 10 years. This is like, whoa. That's a little bit far ahead for planning. Like, I mean, I've got like general big picture goals for the future, but I don't really have much for like specific time lengths. Marlon Daniel Coelho asks, when you have kids, should Uncle Larry change to Grandpa Larry? Uncle Larry is kind of his thing. Like, it's weird hearing him refer to himself as Uncle Larry around me constantly, considering he is my dad. So, I mean, like, he got Uncle Larry apart from me anyway. Like, it wasn't my influence that made him be Uncle Larry. So, I can't really see any reason that he would change to Grandpa Larry when I eventually have kids. And I do, like, going back to the previous question, I do plan at some point in the future, you know, marriage, kids, stuff like that. It's just, getting to that point is going to be the difficult part, I guess. Well, no, it's going to be all difficult. Whatever. From Christopher Zambrot, what is your biggest pet peeve? One thing annoys me more than anything else. That is rather petty that it annoys me. Although I have since resolved it, my biggest pet peeve would have been my wireless router, just a little USB thing. In fact, I think, yes. Here we go, right here. This is a wireless USB adapter that would have given internet connection to my computer, but it sucks. Which is unfortunate because it worked just fine for a while, but it would always have like periods where it would just stop working, and I don't know why. It happened a lot more when it got like too hot or too cold. Not really when it got too cold, but usually when it got too hot, that's when it just decided, hey, I don't really feel like broadcasting signal anymore, so I'm just gonna drop you in and out of connection every couple of minutes. Hope you enjoy that. I didn't. Long story short. So after a long time, I finally switched to Ethernet, which I have not had any problems with at all, and it makes me very happy to know that I am not going to have such problems unless the actual internet itself decides, hey, you're just going to be disconnected. So yeah, that has since been resolved, and I don't really tend to let things get to me, so I don't really have many other big pet peeves. From Julio Chavez. Hey Tom, would you like to own a dog? If so, what kind? See, it's actually kind of funny that you brought that up, because Dad's kind of been wanting a dog recently, and I've kind of just been like, you know, I'm kind of against that, because a dog, like the cat already has enough maintenance, and I kind of, yeah. But when it comes to the dog, dogs are a little bit needier, and plus they don't use litter boxes. They tend to be messier, they're slobber usually, and if we get like a puppy, then they chew. Even an adult dog would probably chew, and I've got too much wires and other stuff in my room, so it would never be allowed in my room, which would mean I'd be extra careful to never leave my door open. Dogs have a tendency to not be able to be left alone for long periods of time, unlike the cat could. There's just a bunch of reasons why I don't really want a dog. But if I did have to have a dog, then I'd have to say, for the kind of it, something not big. Like, I wouldn't want anything like I might be able to do with a lab. Maybe, but like anything really bigger than that, not really. I prefer like a medium-sized dog, although I haven't really done much research into them, so I can't really give that good of an answer. So, there you go with that. So, in short, in general, no, I don't really have much of a desire to own a dog at the moment. Next up, from Gamers GFX and Gaming. If there's anything you could become or do in life, what would it be and why? Anything I could become or do in life. Help as many people as possible, as either directly or indirectly as possible. Actually, if anything, indirectly. Just one thing that I know that I want to do is I want to make something that makes things easier for a lot of people, that they will... I hope that one day I make something that people one day take for granted. There's nothing wrong with doing that either. It's just like, I'd want to do something that helps others. That's like my main goal with what I want to do in life. For any particular reason, I can't really think of one. It's just what I want to do. Next up from Zedify. If you could be any person for one day, who and why? If I could be any one person, I would just like to be myself. I really don't have any desire to be anybody else. I'm fine with who I am, and I wouldn't exchange that, really. Like, I mean, sure, I don't have, like, the amount of money where it's like, hey, I could literally pay for literally anything. Like, yeah, that would be nice, but at the same time, if you have that much money, you've got other responsibilities to deal with. It's not all fun and games. And there's really nobody else who I would rather be. I'm perfectly happy with my life. Well, maybe not perfect, but I'm happy enough with my life that I can't really imagine myself being somebody else in any way, really. From Amanda, have you ever gone fishing? Yes, I have. In fact, that's one of my dad's... In fact, that might be my dad's most favorite hobby, aside from basketball. So, he's definitely taken me out fishing, but you know, fishing is really only, like, catches my interest when I'm actually catching. Otherwise, it just feels like I went out and threw some things into the water and sat there for hours for basically no reason. Like, it's kind of nice to just sort of get away from it all and just be like, it's just nature, there's the water, cast out a line and just wait. But I'm not really a person to just sit around and do literally nothing. Otherwise I start getting distracted, and then I completely miss when a fish actually starts biting. And that's just not fun for anyone. Although, I will still go fishing. Like, when we've gone to North Carolina, I usually go fishing with him out in, out ocean fishing at least once. From It's Gyoza. I'm terribly sorry again for mispronunciation. Do you think you'll move into or buy a house? I mean, I'm not going to stay here forever. So yes, someday I will more than likely move out, get my own place, all that. Hopefully one that has multiple floors, because this house only has one, and it's kind of annoying. From Steven, how do you deal with tons of negativity these days? Quite simply, I just ignore it. I've been on the internet long enough that it's like, most people who try to, like, act hateful towards you, they're just doing it to get attention from themselves, and I don't have time for that, so I just ignore it. It's that easy, I guess. Like, the best way to deal with negativity for that is just ignore it. So, from Kelly, I'm gonna say, have you ever thought about starting to wear contact lenses? I have actually given it a little bit of thought, but nothing too serious yet. I mean, hey, just let me know in the, like, tweet at me, I guess, because I'll wind up seeing that. Like, what would you rather see? Like, me with glasses or me without glasses? Because, I mean, like, without glasses, just without them normally, I can't see anything. Like, just to kind of break the immersion a little bit, looking at the screen for the camera, I can't see my face. It looks like a flesh-colored blur when I don't have glasses on. So I do really need my glasses. And some people have said that I look very different without them. That's probably just people who are used to seeing me with them on because I always wear them. So I don't know if I might try contact lenses. I might. Perhaps soon. Perhaps not. We'll see. So from this point, it's just going to be random questions that you guys have asked me. So we're just going to start right away with those. From Lexi Delecta, if you could have a superpower, what would it be? Telekinesis, because it's got such a wide range of things you can do with it. Use it on yourself, you can fly, move large things without really needing to exert effort. It would just make things it would make everything a lot easier. And it's just, like, telekinesis by itself is kind of an overpowered power. So yeah, telekinesis, without a doubt, would be the superpower I could have. So, from Nicholas Mondora, will you ever visit Canada, specifically Toronto? Why, you want me to just show up and, you know, do a little bit of grocery shopping for you, pick up some paper towels? No, honestly, I can't see myself visiting Canada for very much, or for any reason, really. I'm not really one to travel. Like, it's not that, oh, going outside. No, it's just I don't really have much of a desire to see things, but it's like, I could just Google images of landscapes, and that would be practically the same thing. I'm like, yes, there's something slightly different for actually going there and experiencing it, but I don't really have much of a reason to, like, want to go much of anywhere, I guess. And plus, I like warmer weather. Like, that's one thing that, like, I've kind of taken from my dad, is that I like warm weather, but I don't, he likes scalding heat. Like, he likes going outside and, like, just moving around a little bit, we'll call sweating. I don't like to sweat, but I do like heat. So, like, when it gets to springtime, those are, like, my favorite temperatures, whereas, like, you can feel that it's getting warmer, and it's actually getting warmer, but it's not like I'm going out in shorts and a t-shirt and just going for a walk, and within a half hour I'm sweating. I don't like that. So yeah, I prefer the warmer weather. So sorry, but Canada doesn't really seem high up there. Like, I know some areas of Canada can get warmer weather, but it's just really not that high up on the list of places that I might want to go. From Michael Mariani, how was your day? Good. From Zach Dune, what's it like living with Garfunkel? That cat. She's very lazy. She doesn't really tend to do much. She eats, drinks water, sleeps, and uses the bathroom. That's about all she does. Considering that, I mean, she's an old cat, so I mean, like, she's not really gonna do much in general. Like, I don't even really know how old she is. She just showed up at our house one day while I was back in high school. She's been living with us for about 5 years. She was I believe she was like between 7 and 12, no, 7 and 10 when she showed up. So I put her at somewhere between the 12 to 15 range by now. So yeah, she's an old cat. But she's still around, so that's something. And she's been getting noisy recently, so that's kind of not a plus for her, but she's generally nice. Wish she vomited less. Anyway, so next up, from Chase Areno, do you like cheese? I'm sorry, but are you unaware of the whole macaroni and cheese thing with me? Do you really feel like that's a question that needs to be asked? Yes, I like cheese. So next up, from Ryan Mullet, do you think pigeons have feelings? Well, I mean, if crows are smart enough that they can remember faces, I can't see why other animals can't have at least basic forms of emotion. I mean, they have some consciences, or else they wouldn't be able to, like, eat, maintain, you know, heartbeats and breathing and all that. So, probably, maybe, who knows. From Jason Huntoon, have you ever driven your boat? No, I haven't. I hate boats, actually. When I was younger, my dad had actually a different boat, but he took me fishing on it a few times. Without fail, every time I got seasick. Which is weird, because I don't get motion sickness at all. I can read in the car just fine, but boats, no. Then I think it also has to do with, like, everything's, like, wide open. There's, like, nothing around for miles around. Literally can't see anything else but blue ocean. And also, the last time I was on the boat, the engine stalled and we had to get towed back in. That was a fun day, especially considering they took longer because of, reasons. But that's not important. The point is, I'm not a huge fan of boats. I have not driven the boat that we have, nor do I plan to. From Ali Ali, what car are you gonna get? I'm assuming that he means once my Altima goes. And that's a decision I'll make when I need to make that decision. Because I have no idea what sort of car I would want or what I would be able to even afford. From Funky Enchilada, if you were a pizza topping, which would you be and why? If I were a pizza topping, I'd probably wind up being extra cheese because it's like, hey, I'm there, you can't really see that I'm there, and I'm just kind of there. From Marcus34 Jojo, all of it in caps, by the way, so this guy's serious business. He asks, do you like chicken? Yes, I do. From Jay Juderman, if you could go anywhere in the world, where would it be? See, that's kind of a difficult question for, like, the same reason as the Canada one previously, because it's like, I don't really know where I would want to go, because there's not really anywhere that I want to go. Like, I'm very much a person where it's like, I only really go somewhere if I need to go there, or just if I'm going there to get something, whether I need to go there or not. Like, if I'm just going there to sightsee, I don't quite see the point. That being said, sometimes it is kind of nice just taking in the sights, and anywhere in the world. Tough question, because the world's a pretty big, diverse place. I don't really want to go where it's too cold, don't want to go where it's too hot either. Don't want to go where things can kill me, such as Australia. No offense, Australians, but it's like, you should know that, like, that's the common trope that it's like everything in Australia is venomous or giant in some way, like spiders. Because I've seen pictures of spiders that get into homes in Australian areas, and it's like, no thank you. You can keep that. I'd kind of like to see Germany, just because that's my heritage. Some places in, like, England and Ireland I'd probably like to go, like the more, like, rolling field places. Beyond that, I don't really know. Really Japan. So it's hard to answer that question. I'm sorry that it's not really that good of an answer. If I could go anywhere, where would I go? And I really don't know. Last but not least, Julian Fernandez. Would you be in a zombie apocalypse or a nuclear war? See, the thing is that, like, zombie apocalypse, considering it's an apocalypse, it kind of means that the world's ending, and although it's like, you know, zombies and stuff, like, it's very much romanticized, but it's actually pretty dang terrifying. Like, to really just take it all into perspective, everything that would happen in a zombie apocalypse, it would be pretty freaking terrifying. Whereas nuclear war, it's like, I don't know. If I could have the option, neither. But if I had to pick one or the other, at least with a nuclear blast, it's quick. So, whereas with the zombie apocalypse, it's like, it's not. In fact, it might not. I might even retain consciousness, and the thought of that would be even worse. I'd have to go with nuclear war on this one, because if worst came to worst, then it would be quick. That's really all I can say about that. Alright, that is it for my Q&A. Thank you to those who participated. If you didn't, then you can just follow me on Twitter, and if there's a next time, you can participate in that. If not, ask me a question there, and I might answer it for you. So yeah, and if you're one of those just watching on YouTube and you're just now finding us, then why don't you go ahead and hit that little like button down there, and why don't you also hit the subscribe button. I put a link to the channel. It's going to be right there this time. And just check out the rest of our videos. We make good food and chilling and growing. There's some reviews for Two Dudes Getting Foods, which is an up-and-coming series that just keeps on going. We got some funny skits for you. And just a general good time. So that would be that. So grab yourself something cold to drink, and I and Uncle Larry next time will see you at the lounge.